I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your 3-minute cattle market update for Friday, April the 28th. And to the moon, this market has gone. Really, we've kind of run out of superlatives for this rally that we've seen here this spring of 2017. And I tell you what, I hate to go on too much about it, but in the 20 plus years that I've been keeping track of markets, it's probably one of the most impressive week gains we've seen here. I know we've still got another day to go, but through what we thought it was going to be early in the week, leading up to it, and just all the drama that led to it, had the big trade last week, and it gained a lot more ground than anybody had thought. And then coming into this week, expecting kind of a drab trade with the Packers not really needing many cattle, and thinking that they were going to wait till another week, they can start digging into contracts again. But the contracts are lighter than what they've been having for quite a while, so that was another shot in the arm. And it just a very impressive trade week through there, but especially on the feeder cattle. Just never dreamed that we were going to see feeder cattle getting back to this level, maybe ever, since we saw the big record highs of 2013. But just within a few months ago, not ever dreaming we were going to get these feeders up to this level, and seeing that reality is just a big deal. But you look at the board mid to late week, live cattle futures, the June contract, Wednesday was up $2.70, Thursday was up $3 to end the day on Thursday with June at $121.52. The April on Thursday had expanded limits, so up more than $3.50 there, and closed on Thursday at $135.60. That April spot live cattle futures contract has surged over $14 in a month. And that's amazing to see. I didn't think it could do that. A lot of people didn't think it could do that. They just knew that cash was going to have to fall down to it, and even all the traders in Chicago were kind of cocky with the big basis there between cash and what that spot market was, thinking that you know, they're going to kill that cash market. But just didn't believe how strong the fundamentals were, and it just tickles everybody in the cattle business to see that April board have to run to chase down cash, and just can't seem to, every time it gets it within its grasp, cash surges again and leaves it to dust. But feeder cattle futures on the May contract, Wednesday was up $4.40, Thursday was up the $4.50 limit there to end the day on Thursday at $146.57. All your late summer and fall contracts on feeder cattle are up over $1.50. So hope you haven't sold your summer grass yearlings there. I'd be scared to price them anything less than $2 the way this market has been running here. But it's really a good deal for guys that have bought their grass cattle early, got them turned out, don't have a lot of dollars in them. Don't miss the boat there, but I wouldn't get in too big a hurry right now to sell them. Your fat cattle trade broke loose on Thursday there. It really started out in Texas at 135, which that was $3 higher, but hardly any 135. Immediately went to 136 and 7 and 8 in Kansas, and moving up, and then the Northern Plains got 138 and ended up getting $1.40, and it was just gangbusters, just unbelievable. Southern Plains ended up selling their cattle from 135 to 138, which is $4 to $5 higher than last week. Northern Plains and Colorado live sales from 138 to 140, which is $5 to $7 higher. Dress trade is 5 to 7 higher than the established market that we had earlier in midweek there, which was 212, which was steady, but 5 to 7 higher from 217 to 219. Slaughter's been impressive this week. 464,000 through Thursday, 9,000 more than last week, and 16,000 more than the same week a year ago. Your actual dressed weights for the week ending April the 15th come in on steers, the average dressed weight down to 848 pounds. That's 4 pounds additionally lighter than the last report, and we're just now getting down there. We're at about a decent sized locker beef if you don't have too big of a freezer, and it just takes a lot more cattle to make that tonnage. We still sell cattle in beef by the pound, but we keep track of them by the head, and it takes more and more heads to make the tonnage that guys are needing. And this beef is flying off the shelf. If we would happen to get into a situation with all the political drama that's going on in China, with them working with us, and North Korea and things like that, if that deal should happen to pan out and China gets North Korea to do kind of what Trump is wanting them to do, and then we get into a situation where we're doing more trade with China, and then they come into this beef market in the U.S., we may be just barely at the fringes of what this market could do. That's a big if. You know, several weeks ago, people were saying that China was coming back into the market. Well, they had lifted the ban several months back, and we just haven't seen any of that trade come to fruit. But you can't underestimate how many people live over there, and they're really wanting to increase the protein in their diet, and they could do it with some U.S. beef, that's for sure. But you look at some feeder markets there, middle of the week, OKC West and El Reno, huge run again, almost 15,000 head when you combine the calves and the yearlings there. But feeder steers $2 to $4 higher, feeder heifers $3 to $8 higher. The lighter run of calves on Tuesday had lower prices, but plainer kind of quality. So it was really hard to gauge, so just kind of mark that out as close to steady. We know there was good demand, but plainer kind. But OKC West is now the world's largest feeder cattle market, and they're starting to pull some of those cattle that the city got before, that were sitting in loose hands, maybe down in North Texas or down in the edge of the Southeast. And whenever they needed to turn those cattle into cash, a lot of times they would just send them right to the city. Now a lot of those cattle are coming to El Reno to get marketed, and that goes to show some of the plainer kind of quality there. And it was just hard to get a good test on those good #1 Okies. But Dodge City, Kansas on Wednesday there, $4 to $6 higher. But look at some Thursday sales. Those high markets that we saw Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, they just well have been a month old by the time we got into Thursday. Because Thursday we just blew the lid off of things. You know, I'm going to talk about something that you're going to think is fiction, but in Valentine, Nebraska, way out there in the Sand Hills, and Valentine, Nebraska is a fantastic market, but it's not handy for anything. Sits way up there in the northwest part of the state there, but consistently can get some of the highest prices. You get into a time of year like this where you've got farmer feeder orders coming in there, and they're busy planting corn and just need to get their hands on some cattle. They want some foolproof cattle that'll really perform. They had a string of steers in there. 72 head of them weigh 680 at 187. And then the bigger end off of them weighing 782 at 166. Wow. But you look at more of a commodity market, more of a market that you can kind of sink your teeth into in Kansas. In Salina, Kansas, at Farmers and Ranchers Livestock there, look at these lots of load lots and bigger 8-weight steers on these drafts here, selling in Salina on Thursday from $144.10 to $148.60. Hasn't been very long ago that those 8-weight big loads of steers were just teetering on $130. Hadn't been very long at all. But you look at the report for Cattle Market Central there out of Salina on Thursday there, $4 to $12 higher on steers. Look at the 4-weight average, $195.16. The average on 5-weight steers, $180.30. Look at 6 weights at $164.95, and 7-weight steers in Salina averaging $156.11. Now down the bottom part of the state in Pratt, Kansas, sold those $6 to $8 higher, with 818 head of 9-weight steers averaging 938 pounds at $139.84. And just a outrageous market that we've seen here mid to late week. That's 3 minutes. We'll talk to you next week.